Hi friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Olivia, and if you've never seen my face before, you can consider me your fragrance fairy godmother. I have been patiently waiting for the hot weather to hit Los Angeles, and it is here in full force. We are full swing in summer, baby. And honestly, it took long enough this year. I know a lot of people are not fans of the super duper hot weather, but I am a sunflower, so I've been enjoying it. And I was thinking what kind of video I wanted to do this week, and then it hit me. Fragrances for a tropical beach vacation. Now, when you think of a tropical beach vacation, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Anybody? Anybody? Coconut, that's right. Now, I might have a coconut or two in here, but I wanted to think of some fragrances that would work really, really well in sweltering hot weather. I'm talking heat, humidity, sun. Whether you live in a tropical climate, or you're going on a vacation, or perhaps you just want to put yourself in the mindset. I myself have yet to get outside during this summer, so if you're like me and we're only vacationing in our minds, let's take a little trip. So get yourself a little snack, a little drink, get settled in, and let's talk about these tropical beach vacation fragrances. Because I know I have a lot of vanilla fragrance lovers here on this channel, I thought I would add a vanilla fragrance. But vanilla fragrances are a little bit hard to make work in really, really high heat because they tend to be on the more gourmand side of things. Sticky, sweet, and just a little bit too heavy for the high heat of summer. But not this one. Right here. Vanilla Vibes by Juliette Has a Gun. Now, this is a vanilla fragrance that does offer a little bit of sweetness, but what's unique about this has an airy, fresh, light, salty feel. Sometimes vanilla can be on the more edible side of things, but vanilla can also go quite floral, and this has the note of vanilla orchid in it. So you're getting a fresh brightness along with this beautiful grainy saltiness. And as signature with a lot of the Juliette Has a Gun fragrances, this has a very musky dry down. So this gets a little bit warm on the skin with tonka bean and sandalwood, but it never becomes heavy. If you like fragrances like Beach Walk by Maison Margiela or Alien Goddess by Mugler, this is going to be reminiscent without the coconut. And I know some people don't care for coconut, so if you wanted a fresh, salty vanilla that's a little bit floral without the coconut, we're going with Vanilla Vibes. Now, let's say you do want a coconut, but you don't want something that's sunscreeny and super predictable smelling. For that, we are going with Quattro Pizy. This is a coconut fragrance, but this is a coconut floral with the note of tuberose that gives it a very creamy sort of feel without going too sweet. There's actually some green notes in here that help to uplift the composition, such as Divana, hay, and a little bit of tobacco leaf, giving it a little bit of a dry, earthy sensation. And with the addition of a little bit of rum, that definitely gives a very tropical feel, but this feels very classy and elevated, as if you were going to a really, really fancy dinner at a resort. And I find this to be somewhat reminiscent of Blanche Bête by Liquid Imaginaire, but that one is very, very powdery and very, very creamy. This is more of your summertime tropical version with that coconut. So if you want a sophisticated white floral that has a very womanly presence, but has a little bit of a vacation edge to it, we're going with Quattro Pizy. And for those of you who like something that smells like a fresh ocean breeze, we're going with El Sereno. Now, this also has the note of tuberose, but the florals in this fragrance are much more sheer and oceanic, almost a little bit briny and salty. This has a combination of banana leaf and oak moss, giving a very, very fresh, earthy touch. Imagine the scent of driftwood being hit with ocean mist with a little bit of seaweed and florals nearby. Fresh, salty, woody, earthy, very uplifting. If you like scents like Acqua di Gio, but you want something that's more elevated, sophisticated, and a little bit more interesting, I would go with this, El Sereno. Now, for those of you who like something that's very sweet and gourmand, it's a little bit hard to find something that's going to work in high heat, but I think I found something. Pacific Park by Simone Andreoli. Although this has some super rich and decadent notes like cotton candy and caramel, I don't find this to be too heavy to wear in the heat. It's got some fruity, uplifting notes like pear, black currant, and mandarin orange that give it a little bit of a refreshing tang to uplift it. And although upon first spray you're definitely getting those sweeter notes of fruit and cotton candy, this has quite a musky dry down, so it's somewhat reminiscent of a sweet smelling fabric softener? Don't let that scare you. This is a very fun one. Now, do I find this the most sophisticated? Not necessarily, but is it fun and effective? Yes. Is the longevity very good? Yes. So if you were gonna do a fun, not so serious activity like dancing or ziplining, I would choose this. Ziplining is kind of serious, but you know what I mean. Something fun. This is fun. You get what I mean. Now, if you have a sweet tooth, but you don't want something that's super candied, but rather on the fruity side, we're going with WAVECHILD. This is a refreshing and tangy citrus and watermelon fragrance. And this reminds me of the more sophisticated version of the Escada fragrances. Once the tanginess from the citrus in the beginning dies down, this has almost a powdery, slightly bubblegummy feel without being too sweet. I wouldn't say that this is a super duper natural smelling water scent if that's what you're looking for. It is slightly artificial, but in a way that gives it some longevity and makes it a little bit more fun and playful. So if you're looking for a sweet but not too cloying and candied watermelon fragrance, I think you would like WAVECHILD. But if you want a fruity fragrance that comes off super sophisticated, juicy, creamy, and floral, we're going with Leonora. In the beginning, we are getting something that's tangy, sweet, and a little bit spicy with passion fruit, ginger, and apricot. That tanginess is nicely balanced with some vanillic creaminess coming from tonka bean and sandalwood. And this does have some floral nuances to it, but it's not overwhelming. So we have an osmanthus that gives it a powdery, soft, honeyed sort of floral, and a freesia that is very light and delicate. Overall, this is a fruity, creamy floral fragrance that melds into your skin and just smells expensive. And this, dare I say, is one of the most mouth-watering, delectable, sophisticated fruity florals I have ever tried. And for those of you who are into the clean girl aesthetic, you want to smell very laundered, we're going with Sunbleached. This is powdery and musky and smells like clean linens that have been dried on the line in the sun. We have ambrette, we have some very, very delicate white florals that smell like a very high quality laundry detergent. We have a white musk that offers almost a cooling, slightly metallic sort of edge, juxtaposed to a warming vanilla and myrrh in the base. If you like scents like Blanche by Byredo or Amazing Grace, I think you would really like this. The perfect, effortlessly chic, cool, clean girl fragrance. Another one that airs on the fresh and clean side but adds a little bit of an herbal element to it is Helix by CARNER Barcelona. So this one does have a fresh, aquatic floral touch coming from some sea notes and a bit of lily of the valley, but in the beginning you get a really bright, refreshing herbal clary sage. Now this one is going to have the scent of a really good hotel lobby. You know how it always smells very bright and fresh and clean, a little bit herbal and earthy, kind of unisex and mass appealing? That's what this is giving me. It's got some woody, earthy elements in the dry down coming from cedar and a bit of vetiver, but also a musk, giving it that sort of clean laundry feel again. This one would be perfect for someone who wants a good grab and go. They want to smell fresh, they want to smell clean, but they want something that is going to be good for all occasions. That's going to be this. So if you like something that's citrusy, herbal, and a little bit earthy, I think you would like Helix. Now let's say you want something that has that ocean breeze, clean laundry vibe with a little bit of a twist. We're going for Skydive by Gallagher. Gallagher fragrances are super unique and super long lasting, and I feel like people don't talk about them as much as they should because this does have that ocean water, misty, clean sort of breeze, but it also has almost a candied apple sort of scent to it. There's the note of green apple and spun sugar. There's also the note of mountain air that gives a very cooling feeling to this without being menthol. So if you want something that's breezy and misty, cooling without being menthol, but has a bit of a sour green Granny Smith apple with spun sugar, this one is super cool. Now for something that's a little bit more on the affordable side, we're going with Sunlet Blooms by Dead Cool. Now when I look at the notes on this one, it is quite similar to vanilla vibes, but in the air, they don't smell that similar. This is also a salty vanilla and white floral fragrance. This one is a little bit sweeter, a little less salty. It has a bit more of a creamy, warm white floral feel. A couple videos ago, I was talking about some body care that I got from Skin Potion called Alma Divina that has peach skin, vanilla musk, champagne, and when layered with this is a compliment getter. My husband was enamored with that scent combination. This is citrusy, sweet, floral, but soft and velvety, and comes off a little bit powdery. Now, this would not be a tropical beach vacation video if we did not talk about something that had a little bit of mango and pineapple. So for that, we're going with Karaa Heart. This is another brand that I think is criminally underrated because their compositions are simple yet super effective. And this one smells like a tropical drink that you would have on the beach. You have pineapple, you have mango, but you have something that comes off very creamy along with rum. And the performance of these are mega. I'm talking 14 hours easy with just a couple sprays. And I think that's due to having ambroxan in the base, so this creates this amazing bubble around you. And I've seen people compare this to Herbe Pure Gold. Not even in the slightest. Herbe Pure Gold still has a little bit of that super sharp metallic white floral. I enjoy it, but I find it very overpowering. Whereas this, the musky elements are there, but they're much more discreet. It's citrusy, sweet, and fruity with a little bit of booze, has some creaminess to it, but then feels light as air, but is somehow super long lasting. Although I didn't care for Herbe Pure, I do like the gold version, but I wanted something that was similar, but has a softer appeal, so we're going with Coconut Daquiri by Sphinx. Now this one is super interesting to me because this is a limey coconut in the beginning with a ton of fruits. You're getting a sugary, sweet, boozy quality, almost like mixing a daiquiri and a mojito together. But this has a very prominent musk, so when it dries down, it is somewhat reminiscent of Herbe Pure Gold, but not as intense. Even though I like the gold version, I find myself struggling with the musk in that in really, really hot weather. So this one has coconut, lime, fruits, and a beautiful musky dry down that is not going to suffocate you. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video talking about some fragrances that would be perfect for a tropical beach vacation. Are you guys going on vacation this year? If so, drop it in the comments. Where are you going? I want to go there in my mind with you. But alas, I'm in my room talking to myself in front of a camera about fragrances that you can't smell with me. But I hope you guys enjoy it. I know I certainly do. Well, I had fun talking with you guys, but it is late and I need to go to bed. So, until next Saturday, 10 a.m. PST, you know what to do. Take care of yourselves, my friends.